Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I share with you one of the most highly requested recipe, and that's the meat cake. And I'm going to flavor it with cumin powder, coriander powder, black pepper, Spanish paprika, cinnamon powder, and some salt. I also have fresh coriander leaves. I also have fresh ginger and garlic, some bell peppers that I'll be using to garnish. Now for my base, I'm going to be using all-purpose flour, some baking powder, plenty of eggs, half a cup of butter, and 2 pounds of ground beef. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a nice paste of fresh ginger and garlic, and I'm using a teaspoon of kosher salt to make it nice and smooth. And over medium heat, I've got my pan on there and adding 1.5 teaspoon of coriander, 1.5 teaspoon of cumin powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of Spanish paprika, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger and garlic. Now the seasoning for this is a personal preference. If you want to change it, go ahead and change with something that you like. If you want to make it more intense, you can increase or you can decrease depending on how you like. Now please make sure that the meat you use does not have too much fat. Mine is 90% over 10% of fat. And also, I did not add any water. You do not need to boil the meat. You need to retain all the flavors. So I'm just browning the meat, not boiling the meat. Now, too much fat will really weigh down the meat cake. Okay, once the liquid has dried, I added chopped fresh coriander, just a handful. It's optional if you want. If you don't want, it's okay. Just make sure that the meat is completely dry, but not burnt. And then you're going to turn off the heat and keep it aside to cool. Now my next step is to combine a teaspoon of baking powder to 1 cup of all-purpose flour and prepare the tin for baking. I'm using 9 by 9 inch. You could use the glass pan, you know, the Pyrex. That would work too. And now I'm ready to combine the eggs. Those are 3 eggs, which I'm going to combine it with the meat. Make sure the meat is completely cool. You do not want to cook your eggs at this stage. The eggs are basically to bind the meat, because in your final product, when you slice it, you don't want to have your meat scattered all over the place. Okay, now for the butter, make sure the butter is room temperature, and eggs as well. You just want to break down the butter a bit and add the eggs. I'm using 4 eggs over here. Total is I used 10 eggs. Okay, so you're gonna add 1 egg at a time. And in my experience, I've done this a couple of times, but the mixture of egg and butter seem to be kind of cuddling up. I think it's because there's no density, there's nothing to hold it, but it doesn't change the flavor or the texture of the base of the cake. Okay, so I just add the flour a little bit at a time, and you just want to mix it and combine it well. Make sure there are no lumps. Now, for those of you who have asked me this for so many, I don't know how long ago, I do apologize. Make sure there are no lumps. Okay. And the next thing is we are going to spread this in the pan. Yes, I was apologizing. I'm not really crazy about the meat cake, but I eat it, but I'm not crazy about it. So it took me a while to get to bake this. Okay. Okay, then we're going to layer it with the meat. Now, what I have seen a lot of people do is they layer it with the meat and then shredded carrots. In my house, my kids don't seem to like the combination of the ground beef and shredded carrots, so I do not make it with the carrots, not at all. I mean, I tried, it didn't work. So it's not necessary. Just pick whatever vegetables you like. So after that, I did a little bit, diced bell peppers. I'm sorry, my camera is a bit shaky. My daughter was she's learning how to take a video. Okay, then the last 3 eggs now. And you're just going to pour it on top. And you can design it however you like. We have done the circles, we have done the diamonds, we have done the flowers. And today I think I'm just running out of ideas. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah, I'm just looking for some nice, pretty colors. Okay, so I'm just going to pour the egg. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 Celsius for about 35 to 45 minutes. So once it's ready and cooled, then you can release it from the pan. Oops. Okay, so let's slice it. And now the meat cake is served as a side dish or starters, and it doesn't have to be hot or warm. It can be eaten at room temperature. And again, sorry for I don't intend to give you all squinty eyes. Okay, so let's see how this works. It's really beautiful inside, you know, it really looks gorgeous. And I love the colors, by the way. So let's see, come on. All right, so thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar, and you'll find all the ingredients and the measurement in the description box below.